My boyfriend was fucking my best friend on the bed, their bodies moving frantically. I was hiding underneath, secretly recording everything. Suddenly, her moans turned into screams. The bed shook violently, and blood gushed down like a waterfall onto the floor. Then, her severed head rolled down, her wide-open eyes staring directly at me. Chapter 1. I was paralyzed with terror. What the hell? My boyfriend just committed murder? I came here to catch him cheating, not to witness a fucking murder scene. On the bed, Jake Collins laughed maniacally, the sound of the knife-piercing flesh still echoing in the air. I covered my mouth with both hands, forcing myself to stay silent as tears streamed down my face. Why would he kill her? A few minutes later, Jake's movements stopped. He seemed tired from all the stabbing and lay down on the blood-soaked bed, lighting a cigarette. Right then, my phone's message notification went off. My heart dropped. I clutched the phone desperately, but the vibration must have reached his ears. He made a questioning sound. I felt the bed move. He was lifting the covers, searching for the source of the sound. I nearly cried out, fumbling to switch my phone to silent mode. The second I hit silent, Jake's call came through. Ring, ring. The hollow ringing lasted about a minute. When I didn't answer, he hung up and sent me a voice message on WhatsApp. Babe, you asleep? I'm working late tonight, won't be home. Then I saw his feet slip into slippers and step onto the floor. The ground was covered in Lisa's blood. Jake walked through it, leaving bloody footprints. He seemed to be looking for something in the room. Suddenly, he coughed violently twice. I jumped, forgetting to breathe. Lisa Harper's bloody severed head was right in front of my face, staring at me, blood still spurting from her neck, her face frozen in shock and horror. Jake, completely naked, paced around a few times but didn't seem to find anything. He went to the kitchen and grabbed a cleaver, then walked back to the bed. His bare feet were right in front of my eyes. Then he started dismembering the body, chopping down with the cleaver like he was cutting vegetables. By accident, he kicked Lisa's head. The bloody head rolled under the bed, almost touching my face. I covered my mouth tightly, trembling all over, the overwhelming stench of blood making me want to vomit. But somehow I found the courage to push her head outward. Just then, Jake was walking forward and kicked it like a soccer ball, sending it flying. Jake froze, stopping his movements. The cleaver in his hand continued dripping blood. I prayed silently. Don't look under the bed. Don't look under the bed. Jake stood still for a few seconds, then walked forward to retrieve the head. I breathed a sigh of relief. He hadn't discovered me yet. My brain raced, thinking of how to escape. Lisa's apartment was on the 10th floor. Jumping out the window was not an option. I'd have to wait until Jake finished disposing of the body and left before I could escape. But could I last that long? Blood continued spreading toward me under the bed. I twisted my body, moving further in to avoid the blood that was about to reach my mouth. Jake returned to the bed and continued chopping. Suddenly, Lisa's hand fell to the floor. My heart nearly stopped. If he bent down to pick it up, he'd definitely see me. Jake paused, then slowly bent down to retrieve the hand. I closed my eyes in fear, covering my mouth to suppress a scream, praying to God for a miracle. The next second, there was a knock at the door. Chapter 2. Jake's movement froze instantly. He stayed in that bent position for a long time without moving. Knock, knock, knock. The knocking continued, followed by loud shouting from outside. I'm back! Open the door! I recognized that voice. It was Lisa's boyfriend, Chris Walker. Jake hesitated for a moment, coughed twice, then stood up straight and moved toward the door. He put on clean clothes, held the knife behind his back, and stopped at the entrance. My heart twisted into a knot. If Chris came in and fought with Jake, maybe I could escape in the chaos. Thinking this, I moved closer to the edge of the bed, ready to run at any moment. Jake hesitated before opening the door. Took you long enough. Still not done? Chris sounded slightly angry from outside. My heart sank. Chris knew about their affair. It seemed they'd planned this together. Jake smoked his cigarette silently. Only then did Chris notice the blood on Jake's clothes and the nauseating smell of blood in the air. His face turned white. What did you do? Jake smiled eerily. Isn't it obvious?